Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Civanne. How can I help you today?
Well, I've been feeling really low for like maybe the past couple of years, and I think I've been quite in denial about what I've been going through. I think I've never really wanted to go to therapy because I felt like it would make me weak.
Yeah.
Until I realised that it's actually going to help me, and the first step is admitting your issue. So my issue is I feel really like insecure, and I have low self-esteem. It really affects me, makes me feel really low, and even sometimes I can't even come outside my house because it's that bad. So yeah, that's my issue today, and I just really want to overcome it. So this is why I've chosen to come to therapy.
So what you're saying is you feel very low and you feel it's difficult to leave your house and it's impacting your day-to-day life, your lack of self-esteem.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that you feel that way.
Okay.
This must be really difficult for you. If you feel like on the days that you feel this way, is it constant feeling of insecurity, or do you just feel like there's certain times where you're affected?
I don't think it's constant because I can keep a positive mindset, but I feel like there are times when the insecurities kick in. Like for example, if I'm out and I'm in certain areas that I'm trying to avoid because I'm trying to avoid certain people, then I feel quite insecure.
So people, what you're saying is that certain people bring out the insecurities within you.
Yeah.
So is it something that you carry without those people present in your life, or is it something that you feel like is just brought on by those certain comments? Or
I personally feel like everyone is insecure in some way at some point in their life, including me. But I feel like situations that I've gone through have made me feel more insecure. So these people are associated, the way I see it is that they're associated with my insecurities.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I like to avoid them, because I feel if I avoid them, I'll avoid my insecurities.
When you feel this feeling of insecurity, is the voice that you hear it with, is it your own internal voice, or is it their voice saying it to you?
I feel like it's my own internal voice, but it's the voice that I feel would be saying to me if it was that person. So it's myself.
Oh.
But I feel like maybe that person would say this and maybe they would say
so
that.
It's influence. They've influenced the way that you feel about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's happened.
Definitely.
Okay, I understand. That's really difficult. I feel like what you're saying to me is that experiences in your life and people that you've come across that have been negative have shaped the way that you feel about yourself.
Yes,
is that correct?
100%.
Okay. And what are these? If you don't mind me asking, what are they saying? These voices. What are they making you feel? What are they telling you?
Like that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I can do so much better. Also, I compare myself to people. So, for example, the voice will tell me like that person's better than you, or you're not as good as them.
Yeah.
It tells me.
Do you believe that to be true? That you're not good enough, or that someone else is better than you?
I feel like deep down inside me, I don't believe it, because my own truth is that that's not true. So deep down inside me, I don't believe it. But when all these factors are impacting me and influencing me, there is a belief there that it is true. But if I dig real deep, I know that it's not true.
Okay, well, who is Miranda like? Can you tell me, like, if one of your best friends or someone that loves you had to describe like who you are or what your main characteristics are, do you know what they would be like?
They'd probably say like lively, energetic, bubbly, really like good-hearted, kind, really helpful,
Mm-hmm.
compassionate, supportive, hard worker, joyful, because a lot of people have said to me before that like I'm a really like joyful person, and sometimes it does shock me because there is pain inside of me. So the fact that they view me as so great, sometimes like I do believe it because I know it myself. But when you feel really low, sometimes you think, wow, is that me? Like,
Yeah.
do I have those things? Do I make people feel so good in a way? And the fact that I can make others feel so good for themselves shows me I can feel good for myself.
Yeah, that's really lovely. You use such like wonderful adjective to describe who you are, and I can see that you are that type of person, that you are like a bright light, and you clearly are loved and admired by a lot of people in your life that are close to you, that really know you, and you know that deep down the truth of who you are lies more within the people that really know you and love you, as opposed to these other people that perhaps, I mean, are you close to these people that with the negative voices and the
it was a situation where I was close to a certain person, but then I chose to get rid of them because of how they made me feel.
Because they were toxic for you?
Yeah, really toxic. And
that must have taken a lot of strength.
It took me, I guess, it took me a lot of strength, but I knew I had to do it because in terms of my energy, I could not take it anymore. So
you're saying it was drained?
Yeah, I was drained.
Organ energy was being drained.
Exactly, and I felt really low around them, and it just made me realise that they're not good for me.
So you made the decision to cut them out
100%.
Because they weren't good for you.
100%.
That takes a lot of strength.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I done that and then cut them off, and even though it hurt me because I do love the person, I feel like there was more negatives than positives, and the negatives outweighed the positives, so it led to me making that decision, and now I feel more free.
So you liberated yourself, you set yourself free from a bad situation, which is really something to be respected, because that must have been really difficult for you. Would you say there's still a part of you there that's holding on? Definitely. Mentally and emotionally?
100%. I think there's still a part of me holding on. I feel like I have fear inside of me.
Fear of what?
Fear inside of me because I viewed my life to be with this person.
Oh.
So fear that, like, if I'm not going to be with them, who am I going to be with? And
fear of loneliness.
Exactly, fear of loneliness and fear of
probably the unknown.
And just the fact that I've always had a vision that I would be with this particular person.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm not going to be with them, it does scare me a bit, because that's how I visioned my life to be. And the fact that if I'm not going to be with them, they're clearly going to be with another person. So that's another scary thing as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a love and hate for the person.
Yeah.
Like love because of the feelings I felt of the person being my first love, but then hate because of all the bad things they've done after and how they made me feel about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they just gave me a heartbreak. They also like made me feel horrible within myself about the individual that I am.
Okay.
So these are things I'm trying to overcome now.
Okay, no, that's completely understandable, and I just want you to know how normal it is when you have a set idea in your head that you're going to end up with someone, or your life will take a certain path and then it goes a different way. That's incredibly normal and very human of you to feel like distressed and upset that it's not working out. But from what I hear you saying, as much as you've cut him off physically from your life, it sounds like he plays a really big part in your mental and emotional state still. Would that be fair to say?
Definitely.
And also it sounds like you put him a bit on a pedestal
100%.
where he's quite empowered.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the way I feel about him, Sometimes the love blinds me, and the fact that I love him, I care so much about what he thinks and the way he sees me, and even if me and him are not together, I still want him to view me in a good way.
Why is that? Why do you care so much about... I mean, I'm not saying it's not normal to, I just want to know why that is for you. Why you care so much of what he thinks.
I feel like because he hurt me so much, and the rejection and everything that he made me experience cut so deep. So I feel like in a way, one, it's because I care so much about what he thinks because I love him and I care about his opinion.
Yeah.
And two, it's because he made me feel so horrible, rejected, and which made me think he thought bad of me. So I want him to think good of me in a way of me getting justice.
What would that be though? What would be the justice for you?
It sounds terrible, but I feel like the justice would be for him to come back to me and do everything and be everything that I want him to be, instead of being horrible, and show me a good version of himself to me, and for me to reject him. So like revenge.
Okay. So sorry, I just want to understand. So what you're saying is that you feel like you want the power back. That is what it sounds like. You feel like he robbed you of your power. He robbed you of a lot of security and a lot of good feelings about yourself and about love and life, and he's taken that away from you. And in your words, justice would be for you to have revenge and be able to reject him back the way that he rejected you. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely.
Okay. And do you feel like if he genuinely came back to you, you'd even want to reject him? Because it sounds like you have a lot of love and you care a lot still about this person. Do you think that would even be a healthy situation to put yourself back in?
I think some part of me would want to reject him because of all the things that he's done, but then a big massive part of me wouldn't want to reject him and would want to just be with him and get that fairy tale ending that I've always wanted. So there's two sides of the coin. But I feel like my love towards him, it's not even so much his love towards me, it's my love towards him that would overpower all the negatives that he's done and make me want to be with him. But then I will still have loads of thoughts in my head that will remind me of what he's done, the fact that the damage has been done, the fact that he doesn't deserve me, and the fact that he can just do all these bad things again. So there's definitely two sides to it.
I think it's incredibly honest of you to admit to yourself and to me how you really feel, and even when it's difficult for you, it takes a lot of courage to be able to say, he's bad for me, he doesn't deserve me, but I still feel like I would go back there. Part of me would, because you clearly still have strong feelings towards this person, and it's difficult, especially when you've been treated so badly and he's made you feel so small, that you hold so much love and admiration towards him. I just want to understand that a bit more though, that as in like this deep love that you have for him when he's treated you as badly as he has. Where do you think that really comes from? As in, like, why do you feel so gravitated towards a person that's hurt you so much?
I think because sometimes I don't remind myself of the bads that he's done, and I remind myself of the goods that he's done.
So you ignore, you're
sometimes I ignore,
blank out the things that you should be focusing on.
Yeah, and I always remember how it used to be, like
before it got bad.
Before it was bad, so when it was good, and the way I felt so magical inside, and so like warm and twinkly, and
you want to recapture that.
Exactly. And I feel like because he gave me that, no one can make me feel that but him. So
wow, the way you describe him, it seems to me that you're putting him on such a pedestal that no one could compare to him. Gives you this magical feeling. He's this godlike person, but he also is the complete opposite, which is this hurtful, horrible person that's broken you down. And it's interesting to look at, because it's like two opposites that you're describing as the same person. And I think what we need to be working through together is maybe how you really perceive him, as in like in between all of this like amazingness and horribleness, how you really perceive and what you really want for yourself, as in like is it, let's say your sister and your mum, all these people that think so highly of you, do you feel like how would they feel knowing that you felt so drawn to a person that hurt you so much?
I'm disappointed. I feel like they just want nothing. They want me to have nothing to do with him, because they've seen me so low and so down about how he's made me feel over the years, and how much he's confused me and really like been horrible to me, and they've been there to support me and pick up the pieces, so they've seen it all. So for them to see it all and then to know that I still feel so strongly about him, they would like be disappointed.
No, but
and
you, as in I'm sure they'll understand, because you are human and it is normal for you to, you have a big heart clearly and you feel these strong feelings and emotions, and it's not healthy to shut them out. It's good that you're feeling them, but I just want to understand from you why you know he's hurt you, you've acknowledged all the pain he's put you through, but you still feel so drawn towards him. I want to just explore that a bit more and understand, when he doesn't deserve you, why you feel such a strong pull towards him.
I think because of how he's made me feel in the past, and the fact that I have hope.
You've hope that he'll come back.
That he will be the way he was in the past.
Has he done anything to give you hope that he'll go back to being that person?
Yeah, there's definitely been times, like certain things he said to me, certain ways he's acted. There's been times when he's said that I'm the girl that he wants to marry, even though he knows that he's messing around with different people. He'll always think of me when it comes to settling down, and things like I'm the best person he's ever met, and I'm a beautiful person inside and out, and he's never met someone like me before.
So he says these things, what you're saying is that he says these things that you want to hear, and these things that make you feel good about yourself, and then he takes it away from you. Is that correct?
Definitely. So when he says good things, I'm like a puppet. He's got me up, and then when he says bad things, he puts me right back down.
Everything that you feel about yourself and about love and about relationships lies within this person.
100%. It roots from him, because he was the first person I fell in love with, and I've never fallen in love after him.
You're finding it really difficult to let go. That's what you're saying. I understand that. It's incredibly tough, especially with the first love. You feel like you can't really let go of it. It's very like common. People finding it difficult to drift from their first love, but I just want to further explore and understand with you, when you're ignoring these negative things, these things that remind you of why you shouldn't be with him, and you're like ignoring it and shutting it out, what's your main motivation of doing that? As in, like, what do you, in an ideal world, let's say you could, I don't know, have him blanked out of your life, or you want to get him back, or I don't know, what would it be? What do you actually want for yourself?
In an ideal world, a wish, an amazing magical wish would be that none of this has happened, and that, I know that's impossible, but that is like a wish that all of this bad stuff hasn't happened, and the good that he showed me comes out of him, and we go back to how we was before. That would be like a dream come true. Like,
yeah, no, I understand that. Do you think though that it's impossible for you to recapture that with someone new and find it with someone else?
No, it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And you know that, and you feel that you're worthy of someone better, and to find it again and be able to move on and let go from.
I definitely don't think it's impossible, because I feel like these things happen, and so many people around me have been in relationships where they've been in such love, and they've like ended, and they've feel like their whole life is ended and stuff, and they feel like they never meet another person, and then I literally see them move on with another person. So I see people around me prove to me that it can happen, and I know it can happen myself. Deep down I know it can happen, but I am also aware that I'm healing at the moment, and that's why I kind of don't give the opportunity to anyone new yet, because I feel like it's not fair on them and it's not fair on me, because I feel
it's so healing,
and I feel like I'll be no use to them because I won't give them the version of myself that I would love to give them, because I'm not ready.
Wow, I think it's incredibly resilient and strong and powerful of you to be able to identify that you're healing and to give yourself that break and that space and be able to be the best version of yourself for someone new. However, I feel like perhaps you should, I mean, would you say it's correct that you can't really move forward unless you learn how to perhaps let go?
Definitely, I feel like I have to let go first before I can move forward, because every time there's been times I've tried to move forward with this like on my mind and on my shoulders, and it weighs me down, and it's like it really affects me moving forward. It makes me act different, and it's just not right. It doesn't feel right, and it's just not healthy to try to move on when you've got this like, it's like a big weight on my shoulders. And
I mean, you're saying that he's holding you back and he's weighing you down. Definitely. And it sounds like you're quite entrapped. You're quite held back and weighed down by a person that's like captured you in a way. It sounds like you really want to liberate yourself. You want to break free from it.
In all honesty, sometimes I do get really like frustrated because I know I'm healing and stuff, but sometimes I get frustrated because I think to myself, I'm 21 and a lot of people are interested in me, and a lot of people do try, and I don't give them that chance. So I get frustrated because I see people around me moving on from heartbreaks, and then I kind of beat myself up for taking so long to heal.
You should never, there's no time limit on how long it takes for a person to heal, or how long it should be for you until you find someone new, because you're doing the right thing and giving yourself that respect and that time and that space to heal. And I think you really should acknowledge the fact that a lot of people will just go straight into another relationship just because it's easier. But I also fear that perhaps you're holding yourself back and not letting people in because you're afraid perhaps of being hurt again. Definitely. Is that possible?
Definitely afraid. I'm scared that this whole experience will repeat with another person. Like, I'm scared that I'll be so in love with them and they'll hurt me the way this person did, and I'm scared that they will personally like diminish me of just like how this person did, like how he ruined me as a person.
Do you think that in your next relationship there is anything that you can do that would be different in order to control being treated the way that he treated you? Is there anything that you can change within yourself to prohibit and protect yourself from being treated that kind of way?
I firstly feel like I really need to learn to love myself deeply before I even enter into a relationship, so I know my worth. Because deep down inside of me, I know it, but it's just about bringing that out of me. So I feel like I really, really need to love myself and increase my self-love. And I also feel like I need to build my resilience, where if a person says something to me, especially like a partner, that offends me or offends my worth or goes against my worth, it's for me to say stop, like, and to put a stop to it straight away, and to let them know that it's not right, and they're not going to speak to me in that way. And if they continue to behave that way, then there's no point of having a relationship, because being in a relationship is not about making the person feel horrible about themselves. So it's definitely something that I would feel like I need to work on.
No, I just want, from listening to the words you're saying, I hear that you are such a caring person with such a big, beautiful heart, and you have so much to give. And the love that you give to others perhaps is something that you should be giving to yourself for now. And hopefully in the near future you'll be able to be ready to move forward with your life and to give of yourself to the right person, not to someone that's been hurting you, obviously. It's completely understandable though, the trauma that you've been through, but you sound like you have the makings of like an incredible person, and you'll be able to get to where you need to get to. I believe that by hearing you know, because I can hear that you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know where you want to get to. You know that he didn't treat you right. You said that he doesn't deserve you. You said that you want to be stronger and you want to heal, and all these really positive things that I think you should really like respect yourself for, and be proud of yourself for how far you've come, because clearly it has been a very difficult time for you. I just hope that you can find it within yourself, and I want to work with you in order to help you find who Miranda is and how we can get the real her to get to where she deserves to be, and not to let anyone weigh you down or hold you back or make you feel like you're less than you are, because deep down you know that you're an amazing person that's worthy of love.
Definitely.
Are you worthy of the right person of love?
Definitely.
Good. And you believe that deep down, you know that deep down.
Definitely.
And there's more, if you maybe empowered him less and empowered yourself more. I mean, I know I'm not advising you this, I'm saying that I can hear from what you're saying that you're putting so much power into his words, and perhaps you're misplacing your power. Is that something that you can see you're perhaps doing?
100%. I feel this session has made me so aware of things that I wasn't actually aware of, and you've made me more aware of like the way I'm thinking and the effect that it's had on my mood and where I'm at and where I can be. So thank you so much, because you've made me so much more self-aware, and I feel so much better. I've never actually felt relieved with this situation, but I feel like I definitely feel really relieved.
Good. I mean, I genuinely feel that you're stronger than you think, and you're more capable than you think, and you have the tools inside you to heal yourself. That's what you've been working on even without me, so you have to give credit to yourself for that. And I look forward to working with you in the future.